Yeah, I always tell people a quick yes or a quick no are equally as powerful. It's the middle ground that makes things dangerous. And you,
Yeah.
you brought up a good point. You talked about fight or flight or that freeze. And I think people don't realize it's almost like if you've ever gone cliff diving and you're like, I know I should jump, but I'm kind of stuck here. And it's that fear. And I bring it up a lot because I see people a lot of the time talk about fear of failure, but there's also a whole thing of fear of success that I found too. You as a guy who is a fighter, a business owner, like you've done all these different things that just one of the things you've accomplished, I think people look back and at some point in their life go, I wonder if I could ever fight in a cage. I wonder how I would do in jiu-jitsu. I wonder if I can open a business. But you keep swinging the bat. And I'm sure you're not always confident going in. Like you don't know how things are going to turn out. And as you know, with a fight, man, it's a game of inches. So what are some mental exercises or things you do when you are feeling that freeze and you're feeling the fear, you're feeling that indecisiveness to push past that fear and make decisions? Because I
Yeah.
think people
When
think you're not scared, you know?
my daughter, like she competes a lot in wrestling, so I find myself kind of saying little things. But I'm coaching, I'm just in that world, but also coaching, right? Like there's, even if you say it out loud, right, you can say it out loud. Like I believe, like, for example, in my book, I got choked out unconscious, and I had food poisoning, right? And I was like, I believe my technique. I kind of kept saying that, and that made me feel good. But even a simple thing like clapping your hands, you're in a match, you're in a tough match, right? And it's tough, right? But instead of being like, oh, it's tough, and what brings your energy down, like maybe just even like clap your hands, let's go, like I love this or whatever it is, changes everything, right? And so doing something physically, for me, I found clapping my hands works. That's in a physical situation, but I think it can work the same in anything, right? Like just like let's go. Like even when you're about to teach class, I see, because I Kevin helps me with my podcast, and he teaches classes too, and I see him doing that. It's a long day. He's maybe tired. He claps his hands, and just gets excited, right? And that changes the whole energy in the room.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
cool.
something little, like just clapping your hands and like going like that. It changes the energy around you, the people around you. So it's, I guess, this one thing that I've done that I see my students doing now. So that works.
I like that. I'm actually going to implement that because on top of being just a pattern interrupt, I'm reading these studies where if you do an action before something and then it starts to associate it with that, and it's like even if you're tired, it's like, oh, we heard the clap, it's game time, like go. It's
You know, my
interesting.
Yeah, Michael Phelps, right? Like we're designed more for negative thoughts, right? For survival. Like, what if this happens? What if that happens? And that tends to kind of makes us hesitant, right? And I think women is even more. They're more negative, right? For survival reasons, right? It's just they're wired that way. And so Michael Phelps, right? We have, for if it's a deal, if it's a sports, if it's a fight, whatever it is, a match. You're gonna have these negative thoughts, like, what if this happens? What if that? But you got to change it. You got to be like, I can, I will, right? And so one of the things that Michael Phelps, I saw him doing, one of the reels that I saw, is just every time he walks underneath the door, he touches, it's like, I'm gonna win, or I'm a winner, and it was something like that, something positive, some kind of positive affirmation. And that's him doing something physical, right? Touching thing, like I'm the best, or whatever it is, right? I think that's powerful. I think us moving in space, doing something, touching something, however it wires our brain, changes us.